What's up, everyone? Welcome to this week's episode of the Indian Doctor Podcast. We are joined by a special guest. Haha, that's a prank. It's not. It's just me and Doctor. It's just me and Doctor this week. Quick apology for last week's lack of episode. I'll explain why shortly. However, I do need to start this off by giving doctors a bit of recognition, bit of a biardanol, because you guys got it tough, man.
How so? Tell me. Enlighten me.
Yeah, so all right. The reason why I couldn't make the podcast last week is because, as you can see here, looking at my left ear, I'm not wearing an AirPod. AirPod. Basically, it's cotton wool, right? So I had my ear operation, yeah. Right. And point of the operation was to fix my eardrum because I had a hole in my eardrum from a couple of years ago. It happened in the first lockdown.
It's a bungled accident, clearly.
I wish it was a bungled accident. You know what? I genuinely wish, and this would be one of the things that I will ask God. Yeah, there's a few things that I want to know, the unanswered mysteries in my life. Number one, what happened to my laser that I had as a kid? Okay, I had it around the house, and it just disappeared one day, and I couldn't find it. Now, Sanj broke my heart recently and told me it's because Indy, you probably pissed off so many people in the family, they threw it in the bin and didn't tell you. That actually had me reeling for like a good few hours after she told me that, because so many things fell into place and made sense. But the other question, yeah, because I was a kid in it, and you know how you get lazy, you just shine it everywhere. I'm sure it must have pissed off the family, and someone threw it in the bin when I was asleep. I spent a long time trying to track that down. It's probably Bao. Probably if he didn't nick it for himself, he definitely threw it in the bin. Yeah. So. That's one question. Another question I have is how did my eardrums pop? Because this is the third time I've had this operation, same ear, right? And I just want to know how it pops. I remember the first time it happened, I was lying on my pillow. I woke up in the morning and there was blood on my pillow, and I was like, okay, it's from my ear. And then I had it checked and it was a hole. Cool. Second time, another hole. This time there was no trauma or anything to it, no blood. It was just a hole. Yeah.
Like with most things in medicine, once you have something once, the chance of you having it again is just high. So the real question is, why did it happen the first time? I would suggest it's just anatomical variation, which is medical language for it's just bad luck in it. Sometimes you can't explain why things happen.
Well, hearing issues in my family are hereditary.
Yeah, there's that.
It's true because my mum has it, my brother has it, my sister has it, I have it. So
the same condition.
Well, we all have hearing loss. My mum has severe hearing loss, but yeah. We all have relative hearing loss.
You got your answer then, so why are you asking?
Yeah, but I'm just saying in general, I didn't think that we all have such varying levels of hearing loss. Mine, I think, is, I don't know. I don't actually know who has it worse. That'd be a very good competition. I'd like to see everyone's hearing test results and just prove it.
Would be a good live podcast.
Be a very good live podcast. Anyway, so, right. So I had this hole in my ear. I didn't know it was there. I thought it was an infection because when I was lying down, I could hear myself speak. It was like I had an echo in my ear whenever I was lying flat. When I was sitting up, it was completely fine. Had some antibiotics over the phone with an on-the-phone consultation with a GP. Eventually, when things eased up and they were able to see patients face-to-face, they did see me and they said, yeah, there's a hole in your ear. You've got to go and see a specialist. Got to see the specialist and he said the waiting times after COVID are so long, you're going to be waiting a while, basically, until you come back here. That all eased up. And eventually I saw him within the last year. He looked at everything. He said, yeah, there's a hole. I said, okay. And I said, is there any chance you can maybe get me some hearing back? Because the first time my eardrum burst, I was told after it was fixed, my hearing would come back. It didn't. And I said to him, is there any way that you can have a look and see if that's possible? So he sent me off for a scan. And he said on the scan, the results are all clear. You can't really see anything. Well, not clear. It's inconclusive. You can't see anything because the ear bones are so tiny. So he said, if the ear canal isn't compromised, once I've done the eardrum side of the operation, I can then see if I can get you some hearing back. And I said, oh, cool. So yeah, the day after we did the live podcast in person, I had the operation the next day. And operations are not fun, man.
How so?
I woke up in the morning and all I wanted was just a glass of Barney, man.
No, nil by mouth, mate.
I really wanted a glass of water the whole morning. I was like, I just want a glass of water. I was so dehydrated. Yeah, come like 10 o'clock, 10:15, I officially went under because I saw the clock on the wall saying inject the thing into your arm. That cold feeling when the anesthetic goes into your arm. Oh,
that's the last thing. It's the last thing that Michael Jackson felt. Think about
Yeah.
that.
Oh, mate.
You're
Why you got to
the
tell me that? Because the next time I had this operation, I'm going to be thinking that.
oh my god.
Yeah, I
Explain
felt
it,
that in my
man.
arm. And then they put this mask in your face to like breathe it in. They're like, it's oxygen. I'm like, this isn't oxygen. This
It
is
is oxygen.
definitely something that's putting me under.
No, it's oxygen. Because when you this is testing my knowledge now because I don't even
It
understand because
is.
some
It
of
is.
my
Don't
friends
fuck
are.
this up, doctor.
There's a triad of things you do to anesthetize somebody. So one is, I think, is analgesia, one is the muscle relaxant, and one is the actual anesthetic. Good, I remembered it. That's the triad. So first, what they do is, or a part of it, they essentially paralyze all your muscles.
Yeah.
Right. So if you paralyze your muscles, you're not going to be breathing. You need muscles to breathe. When your chest wall expands, the only reason your ribcage moves is because you've got intercostal muscles. And when they contract, your chest wall moves and therefore you get flow of oxygen, carbon dioxide. So by giving you that, you are paralyzed. Okay.
Yeah.
Which in the same way, when somebody goes to ITU and they're medically put into a coma, that's what we're doing. You're paralyzing you and then taking over the work of your body by machines. Right. So before you have that done, there would have been a period probably you had oxygenation as well. So they want to hyperoxygenate you, right? So they get your levels super high, like really, really high. And then that happens. And then they have a period of they want to do before they oxygenate you again before they want to put the tube in. That's what they're giving to you. But the thing that goes in, the milk of magnesia, we call it propofol, the white stuff. That's the thing that makes you go, ooh, the sedative.
Hang on. That's the thing they inject into my arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
If
So I
you
could
had
feel
that,
it cold in my arm. It wasn't fun. But the mask was definitely like some kind of thing to put me under, right? I'm not wrong in thinking that.
I think it's probably just oxygen. The propofol
Really?
would have done the trick. Yeah, that's going to make you. Then it's something like you can say like count down from 20 to 1, or sometimes they don't say anything, and then that's it. You're just under. Then they have this period of time where they have to get the tube in. That's like the most critical time.
How long's the time?
No, I mean that. I actually don't know, but it's a few minutes. The point is, if you don't get the tube in, then you've got somebody who's not breathing. You're having to do all the work of breathing.
Well, hang on. What's the purpose of the tube?
You can't breathe, man, when you're under general anesthetic. You're paralyzed. You didn't know this. You had a tube down your throat.
No, I just thought I was breathing. I was just asleep. That's it.
Yeah. So this is the tube, right? So we call this an ET tube, endotracheal tube. So when you're out, they open your mouth. They use something called laryngoscope, which is a light on it.
Yeah.
Right, and then you shove this thing down your throat, right, and then that attaches to the machine. Then the ventilator breathes for you. You're not breathing,
mate. I thought that my throat was violated because when I came around,
yeah.
my throat was hurting so much. I was like,
Mate,
oh, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. Breathing tube, man. Obviously, it's taken out before you wake up.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. But I was like, okay, this makes so much sense. So thank you for filling in a gap. So last thing I remember was that I remember waking up. There was a nurse who woke me up. And I was like in and out of it for like about a good hour.
Yeah.
Like he woke me up a little bit. I looked around. I was like talking for a second. Literally. I woke up. I don't want to go to school today. Yeah. I was sitting there and I was like, I need some more sleep. Better sleep.
Taxpayers' money. Get out, mate.
Fuck off taxpayers' money, man. I was fucked. Genuinely fucked. So they wheeled me from there into another place that's for daycare.
Yeah.
And I'm looking around and just everyone is just fucked out their head. Everyone's everyone's like post anesthetic. So they're all like semi waking up, semi asleep. Yeah. And I woke up and I was feeling like, okay, I don't feel great. I took a picture, I sent it to you, obviously, and it looked like I had two black eyes. Right. I was fucked, man. And I had no memory of the messages that I sent to you guys. Like I remember reading something, but I can't remember what I said or what I sent for like the first couple of hours. Got up, tried to go for a piss, nothing was happening.
You said you don't want to do the podcast anymore. You said that's it.
Yeah, of course I said that. I read back the messages, mate. That's not happening. That's not happening. So yeah, I was reading everything a couple hours later and I was like, oh, I don't remember any of this. I got up, went for a piss. I couldn't piss because nothing was coming out. I was like, all right, I'm very dehydrated. And the nurse says, you hungry?
What did the watch say?
Huh? I couldn't put it on.
I couldn't put it on. Oh man, that would be interesting.
I couldn't put the fitness tracker on. I would have loved to put it on. But they said no, you can't have
it. The stag weekend?
Huh?
How did you feel compared to that?
Oh, worse. Way worse.
Oh, you would have been like 0.5%, man.
Yeah, man, 100%. I was close to that. 100% close to 0.5%. Yeah. Okay. All right. So it was weird. Tried to piss, wasn't happening. Nurse came around, gave me a sandwich and said, you need to eat. I was like, fine. My mouth was so dry, Karan. I bit
Yeah.
the sandwich, and it
Yeah.
was like I had like stodge in my mouth. It was just not moving. And I was like, what the hell's going on? Am I that dry in my mouth? And I tried to swallow it, and I was like, I can't swallow it.
It's not going down.
Nothing was happening. I had to like sit Barney to try and force it down. I
Yeah.
had like a bite. I was like, this is not enjoyable. Fuck this.
Yeah.
The woman said, you need to be sick. And I said, no, I'm all right. And then I felt like I needed to keep being sick, and nothing was happening. So I said, okay, it's just not happening. And it's fine. Eventually I got up, noticed I had this big bandage around my head. I was like, okay, fine. I'm thinking, all right, I need to text my dad and tell him to come and get me. I didn't know this, but you are allowed people to come in and be like a visitor to enter the hospital now, but they briefed you on the pre-op saying you can't. So I didn't think that they were able to. Anyway, so I tell my dad, come and get me, came and got me, fine. Took me home. Second I got home, I was like, all right, I'm really dehydrated still. I need to keep drinking water. So I wanted some sweet, had some Ribena, had a big glass of Ribena, and I was like, I need to be sick. Right. Ran to the toilet, put a fucking stool on the floor, and just sat there waiting to be sick. Nothing was happening. I was like, okay, fine. And I was still feeling drowsy at this point, and I'm like, when's this gonna go away? I have no idea. So I get up, have another glass of water, and I was like, John, it's coming now. Went to the bathroom, and I fucking threw my guts up about 4 times. And as soon as I threw it all up, I was like, I don't feel drowsy anymore. I feel completely fine. Now, what's that about? Explain that to me.
Nothing, as in you haven't vomited any of the sedatives out because they're in your bloodstream.
Yeah.
So it's just a bit of a placebo. But the things they give you to put you to sleep do make you nauseous.
I've never thrown up after being under general. Ever.
Okay.
It's the first time.
Normally, before you come around, because remember you got your cannula, they'll give you some antiemetic even before waking up.
Yeah.
To preempt that you're going to feel like that. And they normally give you painkillers as well to preempt. Okay, so you had a good vomit. Nothing came out, I presume. Was there anything to come out?
No, loads came out.
What was there to come out?
Loads of water.
Sandwich. Okay,
a little bit of the sandwich, but like
liquid.
It looked like gimma. And I was like, I haven't had gimma in a while, but okay, cool.
That's a
just flushed
image, man.
Flushed a few times. I was like, there we go, happy days. And my dad, he walked in saying, "Pika?" I was like, yeah, I'm fine now.
Okay,
that's all he cared about. Okay. Yeah, fine. So that was Monday. All right. Tuesday, Tuesday I was fine. Wednesday, I took the bandage off. When I took the bandage off, I started getting like bad headache.
This is the bandage off your head?
Yeah, the bandage around my head, right? I started to get a really bad headache in my ear. And I thought, okay, this is fine. It's normal. Then I couldn't stand up. And I was like, okay, this is potentially bad.
What happened when you first stand up, sorry?
I tried to stand up and I'd lose my balance like immediately, and I need to fall back down. So each time I stood up, I had to stand up and hold on to something. Then I get my bearings and I could walk, but I was walking a bit like jaggedly. So I was thinking, okay, this isn't good. And
I love you talking to yourself. This
isn't good. So, but the problem was, by the time I noticed how bad it got, it was like 3:30 on 3:30, the Wednesday before Jubilee weekend. So I called the ENT department. I tried to talk to the nurse, and the nurse said, "Yeah, so you're
to ask about."
So they said, if you've got any problems after the operation, call the ward, and they'll advise you what to do next.
They always say
that on my discharge letter.
This is about the dizziness and standing.
This is about me being dizzy and feeling really nauseous, and I was like, this doesn't feel right because the pain was.
Were you
really
discharged on any medication?
No. All they said was just normal painkillers. That's it. I said fine.
Okay.
So, yeah, I called them. The nurse said, "Well, your consultant secretary has gone for the day."
Your secretary, yeah.
My secretary. Your consultant secretary has gone for the day, and your consultant's in theatre, so he's not going to be able to respond to you. So, yeah, you're probably going to have to go to A&E. I said, okay, fine. So I called 111. They then took me through.
Why did you not ring me? Why is this first time I'm hearing about this? This is
because you're not an ENT specialist.
No, but your symptoms are not ENT symptoms. Dizziness, vomiting, nausea. I could have given you some stuff, man.
No, but the dizziness is apparently normal after the surgery. So when I read all the things I'm supposed to feel after the surgery, it said dizziness, nausea, headaches. All of that is normal. It's expected because you've had an ear operation. So I just thought this is normal. So right? I just thought this is all fine.
Yeah.
But it was only when it got so severe that switched about like after lunchtime. It started getting really bad.
Severity of it. That was your concern, the severity.
That's when it started worrying me. So I was like, okay, this is bad. I don't have any painkillers for this, really. I do because
you're those people, man, that come to A&E. I'm just like, what is just no.
Complain about what?
Just no, not complain. I'm saying you're the type of those people, man, that come in. Like, what's the problem? There's no problem here. Just sit in bed, rest. You'll be fine.
Okay,
or
smart
ring me and I'll give you a tablet.
Okay, smart ass. Let me finish your story and then I'm gonna make you eat those fucking words. Yeah. All right. Safe.
So no. Wait. I don't even know what happened, but let me just guess. Here's the thing. The problem is because you made it to hospital and you did a bit of choo-choo, they then medicalized your situation, right? And then they ended up giving you antibiotics and all this shit. Which had you been at home, go on.
Actually, doctor, no, they didn't. If you let me finish the fucking story.
No, just speed up. The whole podcast is not about your operation.
What happened? It is. I'm longing this out because I'm loving this because I caught you red-handed now for being a typical smartass. Yeah. All right. So got to A&E. Eventually, I got to the urgent treatment center. They managed to get me a booking. Saw the GP, but the problem was though is that the GP said there's no one here for ENT to sort of check you over.
Yeah.
And he said, so I got to call a different hospital, ran them through my symptoms, and they said, look, he's just in pain normally. Just give him more painkillers. So gave me stronger painkillers. And for that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Jubilee weekend, I was just at home. I couldn't do much.
Were you zonked?
I wasn't zonked. I was just in so much pain that it wasn't pleasant. Like I had this really bad throbbing feeling in my ear.
What did you have? Painkiller?
So they gave me naproxen.
Oh, okay.
I said, okay, fine.
Cocodamol or anything?
Naproxen. I didn't want to take cocodamol because, and here's where you're going to laugh. If I have that, it really fucks up my stomach. So I was like, let's not make things worse than it, right? Because codeine severely constipates me. I was like, I'm not doing that. I said, I'd rather be in pain than take codeine.
Wow.
It gets that bad. So I was like, I'm not doing this. So yeah, took the painkillers, waited till the following Monday, eventually called the consultant secretary again. She said he's busy today. Well, you might want to come in the next day to the urgent treatment center. And then from there, they'll then push you down to ENT. So I got to the hospital for 11 on Tuesday morning and I was there till about 5. Eventually, I got put down to ENT at 4 o'clock because I was meant to go down at 2. The GP kept buzzing them to collect me. They didn't collect me. So I went down myself, kicked up a fuss. Eventually, I got seen by someone and they said, yeah, your ear is pretty infected. So you need antibiotics. And the problem that my mum and everyone had was they said they were worried it was an infection. They mentioned it to the GP at the urgent treatment center and he said, no, we're not going to give it. We're just going to give you some more painkillers. So they were worried that if they gave me antibiotics, regardless after the operation, just to stave off any infection, would have been okay, or I wouldn't have been as much pain. I finished them yesterday, and I feel okay now. I'm getting the packing and stuff that's taken out of the ear. So packing is basically like this level of, is it like anesthetic? It's put in the ear to sort of cover it and to keep everything clean and tidy,
sterile as possible. Yeah.
Just to give the eardrum like the best possible chance.
Yeah, a bit of a buffer.
Yeah, so I'm getting that taken out this Friday, so that'll be helpful. But yeah, it got infected. So no, they didn't medicalize it at all, and they just generalized it and said, yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
And then it got medicalized after I saw the ENT specialist.
Here's a point to make that general public really need to understand.
Yeah.
Medicine is, as much as you want to think it's a science, it's an art. And the reason why I say it's an art is we will treat and diagnose and do what we see, as in what's in front of us. That is not to say that medicine doesn't evolve. So what I mean by that is there are some patients I see, they can come in, I can examine the chest, it can be completely clear, no temperature, blood test fine. The same patient can then present the next day with crackles on the chest, raging fever, and white cells that are really high with sepsis. The first day, the call is made on what you see.
Yeah.
And so, because I get a lot of patients, they come through and go, oh, my GP missed this. Oh, my doctor missed this. It's like, that's not the story. It's not the whole story. We will do what we can based on what we see, but we can't cover for every eventuality every single time. The problem in your case is access to specialists is very difficult. And so
that's what I needed. I needed to see the specialist themselves.
If you saw the person doing the operation, if you had access to him, like this whole thing about call back, you're never ever going to get on the phone to a consultant ever.
No, of course not.
Like, I don't even know why they even say that. Like the secretary is not going to do shit. Like unless you know him and he said, look, you can email me, maybe he'll get back to you like kind of after work. But Yeah, that's just not right. It's not practical. But they need to have a system where, because it's a big thing, man, post-operative complications and post-operative questions. They have like a everyday any almost like kind of you can rock up equivalent where specialties can see these types of people. Otherwise, it then falls to kind of the generalists, which are A&E staff and GPs,
Yeah.
to kind of filter out what needs attention, what doesn't really need attention, because obviously lots of people come in lots of things. But yeah. Anyway, so what was your recognition point? You're not getting to that. I understand where's your.
So the recognition point is, I felt bad for the guy in the urgent treatment center because he saw me and he was feeling bad for the fact that I hadn't been sort of treated. So he said, look, I'm not a specialist in ENT. I'm going to try and push you to those guys. And they weren't available to even come and get me because they were busy. So I recognized that he was super busy and he found it tough. And obviously, I met a couple of our mates, Dev and Preet, during the time that I was in Birmingham. And they were talking about how, as F1s, which is first year graduates, is that right?
Yeah, so first year doctor, yeah.
Yeah, so first year doctor, just how shit life is for them because the nursing staff is just really, really fucking air like it's really bad. And they said the difference that they've noticed in their day to day is that a lot of the equipment isn't working and stuff at their hospitals, which is cool. Well, it's not cool, but that's expected,
it's
I guess.
Not cool, but this is
it's expected.
They're fresh ones. It's a national issue.
No, it is a national issue, right? And then they said the difference that they've seen was the quality of nursing they have. Say if they're doing a night shift, the quality of nursing really makes a difference. So if they have a nurse that is experienced or a set of nurses that are experienced, their night is quite smooth because they're meant to be on call for emergencies, not on call for everything. I was like, yo, this is interesting.
This is look, it's all right passage, right? So when you're a fresh doctor, then you will end up doing more than you need to do because you want to be safe, right? You don't want to miss things. Night staff generally tend to be agency staff, locum staff, because who wants to work nights, man? I don't work nights. There's a reason I don't work nights. So it kind of falls to people either enjoy doing nights, and sometimes it is less skilled people. But you're right, you can have nights where you have very, very experienced people. When I used to be on call on nights, and I get less phone calls, less hassle because they'll be handled. But you get that with doctors as well, man. There's some really shit doctors as well. The other things, infrastructure. Infrastructure in the NHS is it is poor, but it's more. The scale of the problem is so big. It's like how micro do you want to go? Like I could be in my area and I could get a printer fixed. That's a big win for my area. It's not affecting the whole hospital.
It is, and I never thought that having a printer fixed was such a big deal, but it is.
Yeah. Like not most, but I have a lot of IT friends. Literally, I can pick up the phone and be like, "Yo, Yaz, come down. I need this hooking up. I need this, and this. It'll be done." Otherwise, you email, you log the call, all this bullshit.
And
which is like, and it's like, and you know what? The funny thing is that you ring IT and it's just like, oh, okay, we'll log the call, and then somebody will allocate. So listen, mate, somebody walks into A&E, you don't log a call, you give them emergency treatment. So if we're expected to deliver this service, right? This kind of immediate life-saving treatment to people. Yeah, we need the same level of support for our stuff. This machine is broken, come fix it right now. Okay. I've run out of this. Come and give me this now.
Do it now.
So exactly. And so a lot of my work now is looking and improving systems and processes. That's a big chunk of my work.
Make sure you do a good job of it. Right. F1s are relying on.
The problem, you know what it is? This is where it comes down to. I say this to a lot of doctors, because most doctors will rotate and, they're only thinking about kind of going up the ladder or whatever. Their focus is not on improving the system process. They can moan about it, but eventually they'll just kind of be like, this is shit. I know it's shit. I'm just going to deal with it. And so not enough people will actually think about, well, what are the practical, simple solutions? It's not like we got like an unlimited budget. It's not like I can just keep buying things, but how can I improve this process? How can I upskill the people around me so that they get it? Or, what simple things can I do just to make the flow a little bit better? Simple thing, when people come in, the first 5 minutes of somebody coming in, I need to thoroughly and intricately understand, why are you here? You think that's really obvious, but people just talk and they have a spiel and they have a story. They want to tell you these things. Why are you here? How can I best help you? And then address only that. That's their issue, right? That's the issue they have. If I find other stuff that concerns me that you wouldn't know as a patient, I have to also deal with that. But I need to address that issue. And even that's so simple, but you'd realize, like, you read people's documentation, you read what people write down, and it's all waffle. And it's like, just tell me why the person's here and what is the solution. And if the solution isn't today, what needs to happen today for you to go home? You're either going to stay and you're going to go home. It's really that simple. Really that simple. So I just need to understand where's the best place for you to be. What do you need right now? And then manage your expectation. This is something that's done really poorly. I'm really sorry for the wait. I never say that. I'm not sorry for the wait. You've seen, when you see the waiting room like it is heaving, you understand the pressure we're under. So when you come in, don't expect that it's just going to be like, oh yeah, it's going to be a little wait time. I say to people, bring a book, bring some work.
No, I do. I went to A&E on that day. I went there. I took a magazine. I took a comic and I took a book, and I had shows downloaded on my phone. I was waiting to sit there, and I was like, "Yo, I know this is a sketch. This is what it is."
Yeah, this is exactly, and it's based on obviously how busy we are, and obviously the priority. What you've come in there is not life threatening, so therefore you'll.
No, it's not. But I guess because it's post-op, it might be bumped up more. Is that wrong to assume?
No, not really. It depends. I mean, if when they do your initial set of observations, you're not scoring high, right?
Yeah.
So if you've come in and you're post-op infection, but your temperature is more than 38, yeah, you'll probably get seen a bit quicker because then it's like, is he septic, right? Anyway, I don't know what we're rambling on about here, but
I feel like I was just going to say respect to the F1s and respect to GPs that are actually managing to hold it all together, considering they've got massive wait times, a lot of people to see, and barely any resources. So yeah, I just wanted to say respect. I'll give you a little clap. There you go, John. I'll give you a little clap. Okay.
Yeah, just do the advice I have for the F1s is do the best with what you have. You can bitch and moan all you want, doesn't get you anything. Focus on the solution, upskill yourselves, optimize in your environment. Now, this is something I hold true for medicine and in life in general. Everything you do in life, there's an optimal way of doing it. Whether you'll have the resources to get to optimal, that's a different question, but optimize as much as you can and just increase that productivity. And if you can do it with a smile on your face, right? Because even when shit hits a fan, there's like 100 people sitting outside my door. When that one patient's in front of me, that's the only focus I have. Now, this morning, I had 2 or 3, 4 people, different pressures. Like, this person's coming in, he's really sick. He's probably got a new cancer. I got this person coming in, ECG, weird change. I got this person going saying, oh, I came yesterday, my medicines weren't sent to the pharmacy. Please, can you do TTO? Everybody in their head, their problem is the highest priority.
Yeah.
Right. And then you got me, who's just like, all right, jazz. Everyone's coming with a problem.
Is that like inside in your head? Jazz. Is that what it's like in your head?
No, that's actually what people say. There's like, jazz. Can you look at this? I've got this. The F1s will realize the higher you go, your value increases because you become a problem solver. When you're lower, you just escalate the problem. When you're the man at the top, you sort out the problem. That's the skill set. Yeah. The highest, the leader of the free world, the president of the United States, why is he valued and why is he paid so much? Because he solves big problems. That's it. He makes decisions.
Paid that much in the grand scheme of things, but okay.
Power. The power.
He's not on fuck you money. He's on like okay money.
It doesn't matter money at that level. Is it about money? It's about power.
I thought what you said is about money.
Okay, but the power.
He's paid the most.
Power transcends the money. He can do whatever he wants, right? The queen can do whatever she wants. It's not about the money.
The queen can't do whatever she wants. Come on, let's be real.
She can do a lot.
She's not. No, she can't. She's practically useless, Karan. She can't do any of the shit that monarchs used to do. She can't do anymore. She can't exhibit any influence on anything. She has to stay politically neutral. Back in the day, it used to be off with their head and shit, man. Like all of that's gone.
Okay, fine. Fine. She within her means, she can do whatever she wants to do. She lives like she wants to live.
Okay.
Whatever.
I thought you meant within the world. I'm like, she can't do that.
She's a decision maker. Well, okay, let's come back to the United States. The president is a decision maker. He solves problems. That's it. That's what you get paid to do at the highest level. Solve bigger problems. You want to increase your value? Solve bigger problems. That's what the F1s need to focus on.
Yes. Solve the problem at hand. Yes.
Live, breathe. If you want a coaching session about how to cope with medicine, reach out, man. And plenty of.
He'll do it for free.
Golden nuggets to.
He'll do it for free.
Yeah, it's plenty of golden nuggets to share back, man. I was there.
You should start a series going called F1 Tips or Tips for New Doctors. Yeah,
that's not a bad idea. I might think about that.
Yeah, you might think about add that to your growing to-do list of adventures that you're going on.
Might have to do the podcast once every 2 weeks.
It wouldn't surprise me, mate.
That's my second ear that's just blown now.
Oh man, I'm hoping I get some hearing back, man. I know I shouldn't think this. I know I should be thankful for whatever, but yeah, I really hope I get something back. Let's see.
Did you call an ambulance?
Sorry?
Did you call an ambulance?
Are you mad? Of course not. I got family to take me there and back.
Did you pull your strings? You call Sanj? Like Sanj saw me out, yeah? Blue light, yeah?
What, in Birmingham?
Yeah, mate. She got strings, mate. She's in London, man. She got all power.
Yeah, she ain't got power in Birmingham, mate.
Picks up the phone.
Nothing
I need
man.
a cat one for my husband. Pick him up now. 2 ambulances. Escort ambulance in front.
Escort ambulance in front. Oh man, imagine. Yeah. So that was a long-winded explanation for why there was no episode last week. I was in too much pain basically to do anything. So yeah, hence why I left it.
I enjoyed the week off. Thank you.
Doctor, I'm unsympathetic. I said I can't do it. I'm in pain. He said, okay, get well soon. That's it. He didn't offer any like consolation, nothing. Check up.
You have Shindy for that.
He's like, nope, whatever. Cool.
Shindy shows you love and affection. I am there when it's really serious.
If anything, he was there in his head like, I get the night off. Jazz. That's what you were doing, right?
Oh my god! Do you think I just talked to myself like that?
I genuinely think you G yourself up in the morning and
walk onto the ward. Yeah, I'm like, you got this, Jazz. Yeah.
yeah. Tell him, Jazz. Go on. Tell them they're gonna live. You're going home today. Right?
You know what's funny? Sometimes we all wear these yellow badges that says "Hello, my name is Jazz," right? And sometimes I forget I'm wearing it, and then I'll be speaking to somebody, and they'll be like, "Oh, thank you, Jazz." I'm like, "Oh, how'd you know? Have you seen the podcast? Like, how do you know?" And then they just, I was like,
"Oh man, I do that with people at cashiers. I say like "thank you" and their name because their name tags on, and you see their face that light up like, and I'm like, "Yeah, I said your name, man, because it's there." Yeah. But they proper like get thankful over it because they're like, "Oh, I am a person," and I'm like, "Yeah, you are. You got a name."
I do the same thing on the phone.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah, it's very important. I think it's just that little bit of respect, people remember.
Definitely. All right, Karan, I got a little bit of medical stuff to go through with you. Not for me. Not for me.
That,
we've done mine already.
Can I show you 2 things?
Of course you can.
So I've got some interesting gadgets today. Gadget number 1. So every day when I have lunch, I get to the break room. I have a really late lunch, like 2 hours before I go home. So I work kind of like 7 hours straight and then I have my break. And by the time I get there, because when I'm seeing patients, I have music on. I listen to my piano music, keeps me like in a flow state. So my battery is always like a little bit low, 20%. But then I want to eat my food and watch a bit of Netflix. But obviously, and I don't take my AirPods to work because I don't lose them. So I use a wide connection. So therefore the port in the iPhone is taken. So I was like, what can be done? So I've got this lovely little splitter, put it in the camera. So now I can charge my power bank and use the headphones.
Goran, you could have just got a wireless charger on your phone.
No, I don't like that.
Yeah, you do. It glues on the back of the phone like a slug.
Oh no, it makes it chunky. Do not like that.
It doesn't make it chunky, man.
No.
It doesn't make it chunky at all. It works completely fine, and you get your little port to stop you having a longer, thicker umbilical cord coming out of your phone. Yeah.
This is number 2. So this is a charge. This is the Ethernet cable now. So recent times I've been doing quite a few Instagram lives, and the problem I have in my house is that randomly the BT internet will reset, and it's knocking off. Because obviously Instagram Live you can only do from your phone. You can't do it from your laptop device.
You've been doing IG Live since when?
Since I haven't done one for a month. You've seen them. I've saved one. I've only saved one. I haven't saved any others.
What is it? I jumped into one and you were in Bart. I was like, I'm not dressed appropriately for this, so I jumped off.
I'm not dressed appropriately. I was in the dark.
Sidney Gal, I sat there. I was in my cutscene.
I love that.
I was like,
my head is not covered. You like, oh,
Sachi, I did this. I was like, yo, I'm not doing this, man. I jumped off. I was like, I can't do this, man. Sorry. Sachi, that's exactly what I did.
It's so funny.
I have some shut up, okay?
That's so good. So now what I can do is I can have my phone on IG, and then I can put this in. And then I can have a wide, hello, it's got a nice little red lights come on, a wide Ethernet connection for this. So uninterrupted internet connection. So these are 2 things that came today. So nice little, again, they're good example, guys, of optimizing. Okay, everything can be optimized. Just find the optimal solution, get the best product available.
Karan, I could have just optimized shit for you if you just called me instead of wasting money on that. But
okay, optimize the second thing for me. Internet to the phone?
No. The second thing is valid. The first thing was over the top. Okay. The first thing's over the top.
I like it. The thing is, I like Wiser. I really like wires. I'm kind of a wire guy.
You do realize that your next iPhone is probably going to be without any ports on it, and it's all going to be wireless, right?
We will see.
And you're going to have to succumb to this the same way you succumb to the headphone jack going. Like, yeah.
Yeah, but the headphone jack will win, and then just put like a connector on it. It's still
yeah,
a headphone
but now eventually, Goran, you see the bottom of this iPhone. There's not going to be a port. It's all going to be clean. It's just going to be the wireless thing on the back. That's it. That's all it's going to be.
We will see. I won't change my phone for a while.
Just like how you had the iPhone 6 that had less capabilities.
Seven,
and then eventually you
very good phone.
You got your sisters.
Well, exactly, and then again,
which actually made me really happy when you got your sisters. Thank you for that. Because your phone had normal functionalities available on it, like when I was doing all your medic stuff, and it didn't have any of the additional shit on any Instagram or social media. And I was like, why can't I do this on yours, but I could do it on someone else's? Yeah, because your phone was like 7 years old. Yeah,
frugal, mate. Frugal. Okay, did the job.
Frugal, my flipping chitin, man. Spending money on 2 different wires you don't need, one of which could have been prevented.
Frugal when
it. I think it should be.
Yes. Total cost.
Goran. Let me finish my point. It should be
cost.
For you, frugal when it fits. That's what it should be.
Total cost.
Frugal when it fits.
Total cost.
£5
for both.
£5. Yeah.
Don't be silly. Come on. It's gonna be £5 for 2 wires.
Go on, then tell me.
Yeah, 10 quid. Both.
10 quid for both. There you go. Frugal when it fits, Goran. Frugal when it fits. That's all I'm saying.
Frugal always, mate.
No, not frugal always, man. I've seen you spend bare say on like a passport holder that wasn't necessary.
That's an heirloom.
Shut up, man. Shut up, man. Don't give me this frugal shit.
But again, no. You're misconstruing. Frugal is not being cheap. What was the definition of frugal I told you? What is frugality?
Go on, go. What's frugality?
You tell me. What do you think it means?
I don't bloody know what it is. That's why I take the piss out of it.
Right, okay. Frugality is not about being cheap. Frugality is spending time, effort, money, energy on things that you find important. So for you, for example, let me get your language, Jordan shoes, Air Jordans, right? You enjoy them.
They used to be. Now I'm I'm not really that asked. But
fine. But okay, tickets to see the Lakers.
Yeah, if I was in America, yeah, okay.
Yeah, right. So something like that. So again, it's the things that give you joy, you spend on those money-wise, time, energy, whatever it might be. So the passport holder is a good one because I will keep and cherish that, and that will be passed on. So yeah, it's still frugal. You're misconstruing the definition of frugality.
Okay, doctor. Okay.
Right. So what was your medical question?
So did you know that Zlatan Ibrahimović played without an ACL for the last 6 months for AC Milan?
Bloody hell.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And again, I'm not a trauma orthopedics doctor, but that's pretty impressive, man. Like,
running down your knee, right? There's the MCL and the ACL. Is that correct? Right. On both sides. Now it's obviously different depending on the knee, which is the inside and outside.
No. So the MCLs on both sides. In the knee, you have the ACL and the PCL. Anterior, cruciate ligament, and the posterior. But the medial ones are on both sides. Which one?
Okay. So the ACL itself.
Yeah.
What's this? Okay. Which movements does that control?
I do not know, mate.
All right. Fine.
Yeah.
Well, this would have been a lot better if you knew that. But okay.
If I was a trauma orthopedics doctor, yeah.
Well, this guy's basically a madman because to even have any sort of knee injury is a tough ask for a footballer.
Well, his
the fact that he did this, you know how old he is, Goran? Guess.
Zlatan, he is 42.
He's 40 years old. Yeah.
He's
40 years old.
Extremely fit. I've seen videos.
And this is his second major knee operation. So he had a what did he have? He had an injury at Man United in 2017, April, and he tore his meniscus and he had a cruciate knee ligament injury at the same time. That took him a bunch of time to heal from. He was 35 at the time. That's normally at that age a career-ending injury. You normally think, yeah, leave it. I'm done now. Like this is the end of it.
Yeah,
right.
Made a lot
but
of money.
He still did that. Went to LA, won some shit there, and he's now gone back to Italy, and now he's won another title there.
What I find interesting in that story is, again, I don't watch much football, but most of these guys at the highest level, it seems like the last part of their life is to, go to like China or Africa or America and just get paid loads of money.
He did. He went to America, but then he still had some left in the tank. Yeah.
No, but who goes back and plays for like AC Milan is not a shit team. That's like a very high level team.
They won the Serie A. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, that's no joke, man. Did he perform well? He scored a lot of goals.
He didn't score a lot of goals, no, but he was a big dressing room presence, basically. He was a massive leader. So there's a couple things on Instagram. Number one, he put that post up. Number two, he gave the speech after they won. And that speech, it made me want to flip and pick up a table and flip and smash it. Honestly, this guy is so old school inspirational. I just thought, yo, this is sick. Basically, the post he put up, right? I'm gonna read it to you. It said, for the past 6 months, he doesn't think that about himself. He's like, there is nothing in my head. I just am me, right? He said, for the past 6 months, played without an ACL in my left knee, swollen knee for 6 months. I was only able to train with the team 10 times in the last 6 months. I had more than 20 injections. I emptied the knee once a week for 6 months. I had painkillers every day. I barely slept for 6 months. I've never suffered so much on and off the pitch, but I made something impossible possible. In my head, I had one objective: to make my teammates and coaches champions of Italy, because I made them a promise. Today, I have a new ACL and another trophy. Yo, that's just like
today I have a new ACL.
That's just boss, isn't it? I mean, come on.
I have to question whether he actually didn't have an ACL, because you shouldn't be able to walk without an ACL. I'm feeling like he means he had an injured or torn or partial ACL.
I think he tore something in it, right?
Yeah, I do not have an ACL.
I mean, I don't know if he does or doesn't have an ACL. This is pure speculation from hearing, right? But I would assume that he had some sort of serious issue in there that would allow him to still play, but not be able to do certain burst movements. So let's say, I'm sure you've done it like in some sports. Let's just take the one that we know, Bangara, right? If you have a certain injury in a certain place, you can do the other moves, but you can't do certain moves. So in football, he must have been like, okay, I can push in that direction, but I can't do this explosive movement in this direction because my knee collapses. So he just knows what he can and can't do on the pitch. That's probably the best way of describing it.
The other athlete, again, at a very high level, that's just come out about this kind of chronic injury is Rafael Nadal. So I didn't know this, but I've known about his kind of recent foot injury, and every day in Roland Garros, he's having steroid injections every day.
Yeah.
He's thinking about, I think, having a major operation now pre-Wimbledon. If he's successful, he'll play. If not, he won't play Wimbledon. Speculation by this is the end of his career. But I only learned like 2 days ago. So his first Wimbledon, when he beat Federer, was 2008, great final, 5th set. And actually, he's been carrying that injury, the same injury he has now, since at least then. So he's had this injury, played at the highest level, played essentially with a numb foot. That's what's
the injury?
I can't remember. It's got an interesting name. It's quite rare, but essentially a couple of bones in his foot, they are becoming ischemic. So they're basically dying, and that's causing chronic pain. In his case, it's obviously from the massive amount of stress his foot is put on. His style of play is obviously, running around the ball. He's been doing it at a high level for a very long time. But to win, somebody put a stat the other day, he's won 14 Grand Slams just at Roland Garros. That's the total number of Grand Slams that Pete Sampras won in his whole.
What's the Roland Garros?
Roland Garros to the French Open. So the big four in tennis are Wimbledon.
Yeah,
French,
cool.
US,
as long as you had the French Open, I understand now. Yeah. Isn't that clay? He's like the master of clay, isn't he?
King, call him the king of clay. But yeah, like look at that, man. That injury, numb foot, playing every day. And the thing, so Djokovic is the world number one. That game was immense, but the final, he just blew the guy out, man. 6-3, 6-3, 6-love. But then obviously, you start talking about his foot, but that is just immense, man. These athletes, these like super athletes,
they don't make him anymore, man. Like athletes like that are one of a kind. They're old school, basically. And you won't get players that are like that anymore today. Mainly because some might want like a longer career, or they just take things very tentatively, which is fair. I'm not criticizing anyone for that, but I do think that they're very rare to have happen. Other thing to touch on, Ibrahimović as well. The recovery time for an ACL injury is normally 9 months, so 6 months in some cases. So the fact that you'd have it operated and have that looming in the back of your head, to still think, nah, sack it, I'm not going to do that. Because if I do that, I'm going to miss the season. I'm not going to be there for my team at all. Big time ratings, man. Honestly,
it's the same
so much
with
respect.
I was reading about Kareem Benzema. Yours was the hand wrap.
Yeah.
I was reading about. I kept seeing it. I was like, "What is the injury?" And again, I can't remember what the injury was, but he needs.
It was an injury years ago, and it's not an injury anymore. It's just a ritual he does.
No, he needs surgery. And again,
is he still injured?
Yeah, he's injured, and basically that's to stop it. because I think he ignored his doctors once, and then he had another injury, and now he keeps it bandaged to keep it in place. But again, he doesn't want to sacrifice. He's trying to find an opportune time where he can do it and then be off.
Yeah,
But again,
which there isn't a time.
He wouldn't have been in the Champions League, final or anything. Had he had it done. So yeah, man, elite athletes makes you think. Then people like Messi, Ronaldo, who keep themselves really fit at the highest level.
Yeah,
it takes a lot of work, man. A lot of discipline.
It does. It's more like an addiction, like to those guys. It must be like just borderline psychopathic, I guess, because they're just so obsessed with what they want and what they want to get to.
One-minded focus.
Well, I'm going to bring up the main guy himself, Kobe Bryant. How many injuries did he have and that he played through, man?
You would know. I know some of them. I know the one about the Achilles, and he took the free throw.
The Achilles, popped his Achilles, still drained 2 free throws, swished them, no problem,
and walked off. Yeah.
He's torn his. What did he do? He tore his rotator cuff during a game, so he started shooting the ball left-handed.
Right, just
and we're still making shots like it was nothing to him. Taking the piss. In his hand, he had a bunch of injuries in his hand, and he's just shown like on an image all the different surgeries that he's had on it. He fractured his finger, and he's done like a bunch of stuff to his hand that's just ungodly, and he still played through it. Another one was that only came out recently. I think when he was playing against the Celtics in the 2008 series, his knee was really fucked up. He was having it drained in between like quarters or something, or in between games, and no one knew about it. So he was playing the game, still dominating, and then going off in that much pain and still having that drain and carrying on. Like some guys like that are just pure mind over matter. That's it.
Like you'd be like, come on, I'm getting paid either way. You can sit on the bench for the Lakers the whole season. You're still getting paid.
He can do, but to him, it was probably personal.
Legacy, man.
Legacy, personal, leaving your footprint, leaving your fingerprints on the ball, on the game. No one can touch it.
I mean, the early stuff I've heard about when Kobe said he's like, I want 6. I want 6 rings. Like this is a guy who went out, was like, there's Michael's my big bro and all this stuff, but I want to be the same level as Michael. Like that's just.
He got 5, man, which is
no one's LeBron's not getting 5.
LeBron's on 4. He could get 5. I think genuinely, I think he could get 5. He's 37, but he's still playing to a higher level.
He can play to his 40. Yeah, I mean,
he can play to his 40. I think he might potentially get 5.
Not 6.
No, I don't think that he can get 6. Just because the NBA is changing too much at the moment. So the way it is at the moment is the NBA is very, very spaced out. Like it's all based on having a lot of shooters. It's based on putting up as many shots as you can within a quarter. So everyone will.
This sounds like you're shit at the bloody. As many shots as you can. It's not that technique.
So everyone now, if they run down the court, you know how you normally get a layup.
Yep.
Players don't do that now. A lot of them run down the court, pull up for a 3-pointer.
Man, I got not targeted. Facebook Reels. It was about these kind of like Steph Curry half court compilation shots, right?
What, in his warm up?
No, it wasn't just Steph Curry. It was loads of different players. But real games, real situations like on the buzzer and stuff. And it was just like people making shots from the other side of the court.
From the logo,
and I've seen this, like exactly what you're saying. They'll run down the court and the defense will stay there. And they'll just stop and then be like, I hit the 3 and then be like, I don't have to run back. I'm not that far from defense. I'm ready to defend again. I was just like, the game has changed.
It's silly because if you did that 10 years ago, the coach would fucking kill you. He'd be like, why are you taking a 3-pointer when you've got an open layup?
Yeah.
But now the game has just changed differently.
Because they're so good, man. Like these people can shoot these impossible shots with a high frequency. It's like, why do you want to drive to that's what you said, drive to the basket for these 2 points?
Well, simply put, it's a higher percentage shot.
Yeah.
But the way the game is at the moment is if you have someone like a person who's very dominant on the inside the 3-pointer, right? Which is basically a 2. You can get them to dominate as much as you want and get 2s. But if the other team's going to keep hitting 3s, the gap's getting bigger. So it means fuck all, right? You're never going to catch it. That's how the game's played. So it's very different. I don't think LeBron can do that.
Yeah, well, like when Jordan was dominant, like when I look at Jordan, correct me if I'm wrong, but Jordan's game was all that, isn't it? He's a 2-point specialist, jump shot, jump fade.
No, so Jordan went through 2 phases. He went through the first phase, which was I'm gonna put my body on the line and I'm gonna like dominate, go inside, drive to the hoop. I'm gonna do all that. Then when he went off and played baseball and came back, he tried to do that again, but his body wasn't up to it. And obviously he was older. So he started mastering the mid-range, which is where he doesn't have to get beaten up, but he can do a step back mid-range fadeaway, which you can't defend, and it'll drain it for a 2. Now, Jordan's 3-point percentage was actually really high for a player who shot over a certain amount of threes. If you look at his percentages then compared to now, and you do like a bit of a leveling with data and stats, if he was put in today's game, people say his shooting percentage was so high in the 3 points in the 3-point percentage, he would still dominate in today's game. And I can believe that genuinely because he was a fucking madman.
I don't, my mind, I don't think of Jordan as a 3-point specialist.
No one does. Yeah. Everyone thinks of him as like, he's clutch everywhere. No one thinks of him as that, but no one thinks of Kobe as a 3-point specialist either. But he could shoot it in that way. And he could do very well with
Jordan, LeBron, these people who,
but they do well all across the court, everywhere in all aspects. So you don't think of him as just one thing.
Yeah, I guess, but if you look at someone like Steph Curry and who's the other one, Kevin Durant. For me, in my head, I'm like, okay, these guys are the 3-point specialists. Like, this is what they do, man.
But Kevin Durant he's like a freak. He can do everything. He can do like inside, outside, 3-point, everything. But he's just, he had a bad season. I'm going to put it down to that. He had one bad season, so I'm not going to judge him on it. But yeah, he has the capabilities. Steph's pre-warm-up, if I ever see the Warriors live, I want to get there 2 hours early. And I want to sit there and just watch his warm-up routine. Because his routine for a warm-up is unbelievable.
How many made shots?
It's not even made shots. It's he'll start shooting beneath the hoop, work his way all the way back to the halfway point, work his way all the way back in. All of them swish. No way. Fucking around.
That's just.
And I just sit there and I'm like,
Steph Curry, man.
It makes me think, how did you get that good at that? Like, I know it's hours of repetition and stuff, but that's just taking the piss. He's changed the game to the point where everyone wants to shoot as many threes as possible.
Yeah. Like you said, the tactics.
And only certain players in a generation do that. It's infrequent. Hopefully, I'll be able to take you to an NBA game one day. Hopefully.
I would really like that. Basketball's a sport. I don't get to watch much of it, sadly, because of the time things. But when I do watch it, I thoroughly enjoy it, man. It's just, pace is good. It's just exciting. It just makes sense.
Constant entertainment, isn't it?
It's brilliant, man. It's so physical. Like, I did a couple of times I played basketball in school. I was like, this shit looks really easy, man. But you got to be so fit to go up and down the court, It is not an easy game, man. No.
Yeah. If you want to watch a basketball film that's good, watch Hustle on Netflix. Jam. Me and Sanj saw it yesterday. Really good. I rank that very highly. It's with Adam Sandler. Yeah, it's new. It's trending #1 on Netflix at the moment.
Yeah. Everyone's talking about it. Yes. I haven't seen it. Okay.
So I thought Adam Sandler, not a good funny film. Let's just leave it, right?
It's going to be like a standard.
But ever since he did Uncut Gems, I was like, oh, I've got time for you.
You found respect.
And as soon as his film came out, I saw, and sometimes you open a new tab on your phone, it gives you like trending topics to click on. Sure. And the top one said like Adam Sandler new film gets highest ever rating for
Netflix
his film. No, it's his highest ever Rotten Tomatoes rating for any of his films. And I was like, that's a good thing. So I clicked it and I was like, people gave it like a rating of 98%. I'm like, whoa, you must really rate this film. And I watched it and I was like, I really rate the film.
Can't knock that, man.
So you got to check it out if you get time. Well, when you get time, I hope you will. Also, we need to watch Miss Marvel and discuss it on here because it's related to minorities. Miss Marvel.
What's that?
Someone who's a Marvel fan,
Yeah.
I'm really disappointed in you for not knowing this.
Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel, MS Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah. What is a show or a film?
It's a show on Netflix based on a Pakistani girl who's a Marvel superhero.
Oh, right. Okay.
Check it out. It's on Netflix. I need to watch it. Hopefully, we can get that watched in time for next week. We can do a bit of a breakdown on it, but it's good to see.
Noted.
And it's actually based on what it is in the comic. I didn't know that there was a Miss Marvel who was a Pakistani girl, but apparently there is.
There is hope then. The Indians are coming as well then.
Sorry, say that again.
So there's hope the Indians are coming as well. You can be Marvel Boy.
I'm good, I'm good, man.
Marvel Boy. Special power, thanks. Eats everything, can't hear anything. Oh.
What kind of use is that?
Climbs
Man?
a bunch of shit. Oh,
That's not useful either.
if you come near, does tutty on you? Oh,
That's not useful either. All of these things you're saying are very unuseful.
Listen, if the enemy comes, you do date a pod on them, right? Because your IBS and shit. That's it. Finish. Game over, man.
Or you can just fight him in a field
hildi.
full of manure. That's it.
You what? Sorry.
Fight him in a field full of manure. That's the same thing.
That's a bit dark, isn't it?
It's not, in it. It's the same thing that you just said, but worse.
You're gonna drive them out to a field full of manure.
I'm not gonna drive them out. Just tell them to meet me there, rendezvous. You know.
Meet me there.
If you want beef, rendezvous, manure field. See you
Marvel
there.
boy, you're Marvel boy now.
It's not really fit. It's not really sticking, is it?
It is.
Not really sticking,
clothes horse sticks, isn't it? Bloody.
Yeah, clothes horse is worth it.
Marvel
Let me
boy.
know.
I'll discuss it, Sanj, and if we all agree, me, Shindy, and Sanj, that you're Marvel boy, you'll become.
You
Marvel
fucking
boy.
wish, mate. Leave that out.
Oh, good.
All right, we'll wrap it
Lovely.
up there. Drop us a comment, guys. Let us know your thoughts on if you think you could play a full season of football without an ACL. That'd be really good to know. If you do, I want to see you bat the beef. We'll break your ACL and then we'll see how you do. Yeah,
Right.
Sweet. And also let us know your comments and thoughts on the episode. Drop us a rating on iTunes.
Apple. iTunes.
Apple. That's it. What am I saying? iTunes. On Apple Podcasts. Also on Spotify. And get involved with the poll on Spotify as well. And we'll see you next week. Later.